The Bears. Jay Green, listen, dog. Appreciate you for getting Babe Ball over here for Game of Thrones. You heard? I think he gonna really enjoy our shit. Hit squad. You resign your players. Hit squad. Nerve swing wag at all, so we're gonna play these games today. Are you going to? Hero. The burgers. My nigga. I need you in chat with me too, Hitter, for this Hall of Fame conversation. Don't you know, no. Don't you know, no. Got a lot to get to today. Don't you know, no. Got a lot to get to today. Don't you know?
God damn.
Go get yourself some bread. Got a lot to get some. We gotta get to it. Gotta get to it. Yeah. Gotta get to it. Yeah. All right. While we waiting for my co-hosts to get their shit together, man, let's talk about some things real fast. Just some Madden 22 news. Once again, I do believe this weekend we are going to start looking at divisions and team selections and trying to place the right people in the right divisions where we have, two strong members in each division and, two guys that's up and coming in each division. I think I actually like have you played the new gen yet? I mean next gen.
Yeah.
Can I see a lighter, please?
I like both versions, the
black one,
the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, I haven't played the 5 yet. I don't got it. I'm probably gonna get it. Probably try to get it next week. But I like the 4 version though too. I love the 4 version. I haven't played the 5 yet. I don't got it. I'm probably gonna get it. Probably try to get it next week. All right. All right, there we go. All right, so we will start to get into a lot of the Game of Thrones. I already built the chats already and all that. We got the trade chat, we got the regular main chat, and so on. So the whole Game of Thrones thing. Hey yo, bro, I had the Dolphins like, yo, bro, I don't fuck with Game of Thrones. So I was like, oh, all right. He was like, yeah, I don't know why you want me to pay $20 for me to fuck with Game of Thrones. I don't like that movie, that show. I said, I start screaming, bro. Oh my god. I said, man, that's the name of the league, bro. He's like, oh shit, my bad. Like, oh my god, what the fuck you thought I was doing? And like, man, I don't know. I just heard Game of Thrones. I said, man, niggas don't pay attention to shit. But yeah, Game of Thrones, hit it, man. If I could ask you, what's the difference between Real Draft and Game of Thrones, bro?
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah.
Night and day for real.
Yeah, night and day. I agree.
Game of Thrones is more geared towards you drafting the players that you like, whereas Real Draft is drafting the players that you know about.
Yeah, it's more. Game of Thrones is more. We kind of bridge the gap a little bit with Real Draft and Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones is really you drafting the draft class. It's a better draft class. It matches the league, but it's more like a my player draft, really, because guys change. You can change the names of your players, like whatever the draft class is. Whoever you draft, you can change that guy's name or whatever you want, long as it ain't no bullshit. You know, we had guys change all his team players' names to Hollywood characters and shit. His quarterback was Leonardo DiCaprio. His running back was fucking Samuel L. Jackson and some shit like. And that's why we call him Hollywood Sean to this day. But Game of Thrones is more freely when it comes down to like team play. Now, what I did get a jump start on draft classes, right? And doing the editing and things like that. What I did learn this time around, you got a lot of stuff that we're gonna have to get into when it gets to 22. But from seasons 1, you figure we're gonna play to about January, February. So the way our league move, we're looking at about 7 to 8 seasons, and that alone before we flip back over to real draft. After the NFL Combine and draft and all that shit start to come around after the Super Bowl played in real life, then we move on to our real draft league. But the Game of Thrones league, bro, is the Game of Thrones theme. You know, we all battle on to see who's going, win that Super Bowl. The competition is the same. Guys go in, man. We play, we go hard, and the difference in the Game of Thrones is how we move far as players wise, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys like to change their rookies into juniors. So like you've seen us do some of that at the end of this at the end of real draft. The last draft class I did a whole lot of juniors, ex-NFL players. So if you get the 49ers, you might make a Jerry Rice Jr. You draft a rookie receiver, you might be Jerry Rice. Like, it's your preference, whatever you want to name your players. Real draft, those players are real life players, so you can't touch nothing in that. But I'm excited for it. I can't wait to play. I can't wait to get into it, man. I can't wait for these guys, Madden, to drop that their scouting franchise patch so we can get to it. Hitter, gameplay wise, Madden 22 versus 21. Can you tell the difference between speed?
Yeah. You can and you can't. It don't have that as many breakaways that as 21 had. You really gotta work for the yards as far as running wise.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, now you can break one. I seen Nano do it to me the other day.
Yeah, you can get loose.
But that came down to him just running behind his block and finding a hole and executing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just pure speed. It was more so that he had an open hole, and that's what was supposed to happen.
But those pure speed guys, and I'm talking current gen 22. Those pure speed guys fly. I mean, you ain't taking no angle on them or nothing like that. You can't catch them guys. Like, if you know what you're doing with the stick, is a wrap.
But I've seen 93 do it too. It's just all about stick control, and you definitely have total stick control on this 22 right here. Yeah,
I fucks with it. I like it. A lot of negative review on it, of course. EA just got to stop hitting out halfway shit. They fix some of the zone coverages. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not having too much because they just patched it, and they did patch some of the stuff as far as coverage wise. It's some things that will get you tore the fuck up if you don't know what you're doing and shit. But at the same time, I'm still playing it. I'm cool with the zones at this point. Like, I would like for them to get a little bit more sticky, but you know how it go. The more they try to fix, the more they break. So my thing is, give us all the shit that we're supposed to be getting, and let's get to it. All right, so we did run through the playoffs. The playoffs did take a little longer than the playoffs. So let's talk about playoffs and RDL the whole entire year. we've been 24 hours. Sometimes we're 12 hours. Sometimes we're 36 hours, right? During the regular season. But one thing we know for sure when we get in the playoffs, things slow down all the time. And you would think, you know, we get in the playoffs. Usually, it's the most active guys in the playoffs. So you would think that the playoffs wouldn't slow down at all, right? But it does. Well, this time we had a little hiccup in the divisional round where instead of 2 days, it took 3 days to play. So we went a little over 48 hours, but we did get to finish the playoffs, and 2 teams that made it to the Super Bowl was Corey, my boy, that dude, Corey the Bucks, and I played him in that Super Bowl. We started to play Tuesday night. He dropped the game at 14-0. We picked it back up the next day where he gave me my points back, and we continued to play, and the score ended up being 27-13. So we did pull it out and got the Super Bowl. But I didn't get to talk about the recap of some of the playoff run. So I want to dig into that real fast before we get into what's going down from here on out. Let's see if we get to the playoff pictures. All right, so we did talk about the wild card. That was the last real talk I did. I didn't do a real talk for the divisional rounds, or the championship rounds, nor the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna recap that real fast. All right, so as you can see, we had the Saints and the Bucks played in the NFC in the divisional round. The Cowboys and the Lions played in the NFC in the divisional round. And over here it was the Texans and the Ravens and the Chargers and the Colts. So we'll start back over here because I will say this: Corey was super active. He was knocking his games out, man. He was playing, and he was, you know, doing his thing in the playoffs. So he took himself through his path to the Super Bowl was through the 49ers, which he won in a 37-24 ball game. In that game, we saw the common theme that he usually doesn't do that much, and that's run the football. I mean, 12 carries out of his running back for 107 yards. I think that was like the tell-all to get him into the past Nano, especially when Nano had 94 rushing yards and his best threat didn't touch the end zone at all. And then we get to this divisional rounds, and we saw the Cowboys beat the Lions 28-0. Now, before we start talking about holy moly donut shop and all this and that, and no, because it's one of my crew guys, I'm not gonna not kill him. He got donutted at the end of the day. Fuck that, can't get donutted. But to his defense, EA kicked him off his PS, his user. So his profile got locked for 7 days, and he had to create a whole new profile. Now, with that being said, when you have to create a whole new profile, now the momentum of your team is gone because you come in fresh with a whole new system, coach, everything. He has no points. He's not leveled up, none of that. So you kind of start from behind the 8 ball where, you know, you lost all the data you had for the first 9 seasons, building your coach up. Your team chemistry, all that stuff goes away when he had to change his PSN and come in and play on a fresh one. Lost all his stuff, his playbooks. He had to start level 0 with his coach, unless he went and found a coach that had a high level, like 23 points or something like that. But that hurt. That put you in a situation because now you just took what your team was capable of doing, and it kind of put you behind the 8 ball. So I gotta cut him some slack in that 28-0 win that the Cowboys scored on him. Now, with that being said, D West did do his thing. All right, so yeah, the Cowboys did do their thing in this game. Let me just see what happened. I don't care about the box score. We just want to see who played well. Obviously, neither one of them had a good day passing, so it looked like it was a defensive game. Because the run games were shut too. Yep, this had to be a defensive game. Don't look like anybody did anything in the passing game. Surratt did score a touchdown. So I'm gonna look on the defensive side, and I'm gonna think those points came there. Let's go look at touchdowns, see if anybody scored on defense. Yep, so he had a touchdown on defense. He had 1 receiving touchdown. And I'm quite sure the last touchdown was a cleanup touchdown. Travis Etienne scored. There you go, your 21 points right there. We are missing point 28. So I see 21 right now. 1, just 14. One on defense, 28. Some type of special teams. Let me find out he ran a kickoff back or so. No. Punt. No. So where the fuck the 28 come from? Am I missing something here? One passing touchdown. One rushing touchdown. That's 14. That receiving is the same as a passing touchdown. And then on defense, we saw I have no idea where his 28th point came from, but he won the game 28-0, which pushed him to the championship round. Now, in the NFC divisional round with the NFC South meeting back up again, the Saints coach Jimbo played Corey, and Corey pulled that win out by 10. Who the fuck is texting me? Alright, so we get to the player stats. Here we go. I didn't get to see this game, nor like I didn't see it broadcast or anything like that, so I had no idea like what happened, so I gotta look at it. Saw I had a 99 QB rating, 331 yards, threw 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Corey Richardson, my player, threw 481 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. They both turned the ball over twice through their quarterbacks. But 17 carries, 138 yards out of Don Chaney Jr. He's been playing. A Miami kid been playing, and he also had Cameron Harris. They were teammates. He only had 30 yards in that game. On the receiving step, we had Kendall Gibson, the tight end, had 1 touchdown, and then Cameron out the backfield with a touchdown. You come down here, Tetris McMillan had 4 catches for 2 touchdowns. So that pulled them past that. That got them to the NFC Championship game. Corey's second time getting there in his entire Madden franchise Junkies career. So he's at the NFC Championship on his way to a Super Bowl. He beat the Cowboys 31-7. And in that game, T. West said he got covered 2 to death and checked down Charlie to death. But look, 222, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And this is the game. Malachi Nelson threw 4 INTs. Simple as that. That's the game right there. 12 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Corey ran the ball more than he usually runs the ball in these first 3 games. ETN 13 for 67. Looked like ETN started to slow down a little bit. That number 2 to 3 best running back in the league. He hasn't showed that in the playoffs really much all this year. Although he still won some big games for them, he hasn't really shown it all this year that he's still that guy. Like, it looked like he started to decline a little bit because he average went down and everything. So that was that. Tetris McMillan balled out. He's used to playing in big games. 5 catches, 103 yards, a touchdown. And then he traded for Carlos Pesos. Los is my player receiver, and he had 3 catches for 8 yards and a touchdown. So that was the game. As you can see, 31-7. D West almost donutted him. He almost holy moly donut shopped him. Now the good games were really over here outside of the Saints and the Bucks game. In the NFC from divisional round to NFC Championship game. The NFC did have good games. These games were pretty solid over here. 31-28. Max played Falky. 31-28 with the score. I didn't watch this game, but I did heard it was like 2 situations. Max had the football, got in the red zone, and some might call it panic, some might call it whatever they want to call it. He was trying to get his shit together, took 2 delayed games, and dropped him out of scoring situation, in which Falk had the last drive and went down and got the field goal. Drove all the way down and kicked the field goal to win the ball game. So as you can see, player stat wise, Fields had 136.3 QB rating, 208 yards. He threw a touchdown and no picks. Sanders 97-9, 312, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He did turn the ball over twice. LJ Johnson had 129 yards on 9 carries. Catrone Allen balled out 15 for 100, 2 touchdowns. I gotta go see this. Oh yeah, this was controlled football. He was not trying to this is big time, bro. You had the ball for 20 minutes and 14 seconds to Falk 746 and gave up 31 points. That's hard, bro, because you controlled the clock. Everything about this game pointed to the coach winning it. And in 7 minutes and 46 seconds, he allowed the mighty Chargers to score 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Gotta be able to get him off the field and not let him score. Like when you controlling the game that way, you gotta continue to get points, and you gotta be able to get a stop or two, because you can't let a guy match your touchdowns with way less time. Like you had the ball 20 minutes out of a 28-minute game. So that gotta be something that he works on. Going, you know, coming to the end of the season and going into Madden 22, you got to work on that. But LJ only had 9 carries, 129 yards, 14.3, 2 touchdowns. Now, Katron Allen and the coach offense, they were playing really well through shotgun, running the ball out of shotgun, inside zones, read options, and things like that. And then Coach Falky, just me talking to both the coaches, I got to know what was going on in this game. Falk said that was the problem he was having. He was kind of killing him with the inside zone shit. So he changed up. He made a switch to better stop him from running the ball out of shotgun. And he made the switch, and it seemed like the coach didn't game plan off of that. Like, so what happened was Falky game plan late second half to stop that inside zone shit and coming out in shotgun at 3-4 receiver sets and running the ball. He was able to stop that in the second half. He made the adjustment he needed to stop that. I think the coach needed to do something else off of that once it started to get stopped. I honestly think that was the difference in that ball game. The crazy game was right here, me versus Craig with the Texans. This game was off the hook, bro. What was scary about this game is, first of all, that man played this game damn near on his COVID bed. I'm gonna keep it 100. He was fucked up. That's what held up the divisional round part of what our holdup was in the divisional round. So, you know, he was really sick in this game, but he played that shit, knocked it out. He got his homework done. We both game planned. So this is what was funny about this game. We played week 17, and he had me 20-10 in the fourth quarter in week 17, right? So you get your data off of that game, right? So in that game, I couldn't get him off the field. He chunk yarded me. He threw the ball pretty well in that game. He ran the ball completely. The run killed me. So if I had to evaluate, damn, what do I got to stop when I play this guy, it was more, I got to stop him from running the football. I got to make it hard for him. I can't allow him to get 4 yards a pop every 3 plays he getting the first down through the run game. I have to be able to eliminate that. Try my best to stop that run game. I'm just talking to him. He wasn't prepared for me coming out and running the ball the way I did. Because usually when we play, I do throw the ball when I play him a lot. Even though I'm a running coach, right? But I came out, I made a decision that I was running the football, and I was going to run the ball and play bend but don't break defense. I was going to try to hold him to field goals, and because I felt like he would get down to the red zone every chance he got, because of how his style of play matches up really well with me. So I figure if we could just hold him to field goals and we can score points, I think we'll play a close game, but you know, we should better pull it out. So just talking to him, he wasn't prepared for me to run the ball the way I did, because I literally didn't throw the football at all this game. He came out and I took away the run from him, as you're going to see the storyline right now. 121.1 QB rating. Lamar had a 39.5 QB rating and only threw for 6 yards in this game. Now usually that results into a loss. There's no way you come into a playoff game and you have that type of QB rating and still win the ball game. Alright, but here's what happened. The roles switched. 121.1. Zach was on fire. He did what he had to do. He was wielding his team to a win this game flat out, and it came down to one mistake. 241 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns and that 1 INT, which cost him the game, right? Other than that, this guy was playing lights out. 19 for 23. I literally completed 1 pass out of 4 attempts. But then when you get over here to the run game, we kind of switched roles. So between 3 running backs, 4, including my quarterback, we carried the ball 14 times with Javonte Williams for 117 yards, 8.4 yards. He scored a touchdown. Jason Nelson had 5 carries for 80 yards, 16 yards a carry, and he had a touchdown. And then you had Raleek Brown, 5 carries for 32 yards. He averaged 6.4 yards in that game. Emmanuel had 3 carries for 22 yards, 7.3. With that 7.3 yards a carry, you would think that that would be all right. Well, we got something going here, but that really wasn't what it really was. What it looked like. Yeah, it was 14 yards was his longest run, but I don't think this was enough, especially with him passing the way he was passing this game. That was enough for him to want to go, play the football he will usually play against me. His main running back, though, this was the problem. 19 carries, 49 yards. He had 2.6 yards a carry. So we did set out. We did what we set out to do, which was shut him down. We didn't want him to be able to kill us, and we was able to do that. But on the flip side of that, he kept the score the way it was and close, and damn near could win the ball game because he went dummies. As you can see, Derek Howard had 9 catches, 134 yards. He didn't score a touchdown, but he moved the chains. He took the place of his run game with this receiver, with the tight end. He moved the chains for him all day long. Spearman, 3 catches, 50 yards and a touchdown. His running back did catch the ball 3 times out the backfield. As you can see, everything belongs to him when it comes down to the pass, and I literally had 1 catch for 6 yards with Jalen Waddle. But we knew that tight end was going to be his guy, and he was able to get to him, and then we was able to sit in the area where our user lurker will work for us with Justin Flo, and that changed the game with the pick 6 to win the ball game, because at that he was driving right up the field. So this game was tight, bro. This was a tough game. He's becoming a very, very tough opponent. And I don't know if it's just me and him match up. The way we match up, he gives me problems. In both leagues that I've played him in his division, Junkies league, he gives me problems, bro. It's hard to play this guy, to be honest with you. But that INT, the 1 pick he threw was to Justin Flo, and he took it 68 yards for a touchdown, which gave us the game to win that ball game, 27-20. It was a dogfight though. Now we get to the AFC Championship. This game wasn't even played. This was the first win. Falky was on vacation, and we would have had to wait like 4 days to play this game. So he gave me the first win, and which put me in the Super Bowl. No one wants to get to a Super Bowl that way at all. Although I can stand on it, knowing that I've played him in playoffs and I've won playoff games against him, so I don't feel as bad. But like, it's hard to win one, get to one, or win one when you didn't go through the people you had to go through to get to it. Like, it takes a little bit of the prestige of that Super Bowl away. I'm happy because this would have been the first league I played in ever that I haven't won a Super Bowl in. And I was on my way to that. So of course I'm excited that I won it, but the path getting there wasn't as hard. Like, it wasn't because I didn't have to play one of the top players in the league to get there. And then we get to the Super Bowl. All right, 27-13 was the game. I think this game came down to flat out me just knowing my opponent. I knew, I've said it many times on Real Talk, his style of play, and it was a guessing game. And if I can make him turn the ball over, we can win the ball game. And when we started the game off, he threw me a pick 6, and then he threw me back-to-back picks. One of them was a pick 6, which gave me 14 points. And then he brought the beat back to a 13-20 ball game, and he had the ball driving and throw a pick 6. It kind of ended the same way me and the Texans game ended, where I baited him to something. I know he liked to play those tight ends, so I gave him a look and took something away, and I was able to jump the pick 6 that thing with the middle linebacker, catch some more to the crib. So that was the playoff run. That's the Super Bowl. That's what we talked about. Get that out the way, because I didn't do a divisional round, or the championship round, or Super Bowl Real Talk. So we got that out the way. Now we are going into the final season. I know we're not expecting to have a 32 team league playing every game. I don't see that happening at all, especially with some of these guys starting their own leagues already in 22. I don't see them really playing, if they play at all, playing all their games. But we do have more than half playing, and that's impressive of his own self right there. The fact that we have more than half playing when 22 has been out for about 2.5, 3 weeks. No, 22 ain't been out 3 weeks yet, right, fellas?
What was it? August
20th.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks, right?
This the second week.
All right, second week of it, man. Now, all right. So now, with that being said, we are supposed to be doing the free agency stages. We're not going to draft the last season. I'm going to sim the draft, and then I'm going to give guys, after the draft is over, I'm going to give guys a player. I'm a my player, so I'm gonna make a player for y'all rookies. You can pick somebody you might need just in case you lost somebody in free agency or whatever the case may be. I am gonna probably not going to advance from here. I'm probably going to leave it here and pick it back up tomorrow because we're supposed to be starting the league tomorrow anyway. I'd rather give everybody a chance, and I'm gonna go find out who's all playing. Give everybody a chance to get their re-signing on and get to it. But I will say this: free agency gonna be off the fucking hook because you're not going to have a full league, so guys aren't going to manage their team. So that means dogs are going to be in free agency right now. So if you are one of those guys that's playing, I will clear up as much money as possible because you're gonna get some dogs. Like my linebacker Nair Graham, I couldn't re-sign him back. He's in free agency. Things like that's going to happen. Plus the guys that aren't even managing their team is going to be in free agency. Now we're just going to finish out until till the patch come for Madden 22. So we're gonna rock out in 21, and guys are playing in leagues already in 22. I got my own dummy league where we playing, where we just learning the ropes of franchising it and all that. But I'm locked in. So we got some guys that had some rookies last year, quarterback position, running back, things like that. They will love to have another season with those guys. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see the 2 stud quarterbacks from that rookie class. Let's go take a look at these guys who I'm talking about real fast. All right, here we go. So the guys that were really, really wilding that whole year last year was Vick for the Steelers. Coach Brian had Alan Vick playing really well last year on his rookie year. So let's take a look at his numbers. $3,122 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, 24 INTs. He was sacked 56 times. But I do think I like what he did. 63%. This is good numbers for a rookie. On the ground, he ran the ball 44 times for 251 yards. He had 5 rushing touchdowns. I think he's going to get better. It was his first time with that offense, and all it's going to do is improve for him on his last season. So I think he's going to have fun, especially having a lot of computer games as well. He's going to have fun. He should be able to really, really go past the numbers that he have right now. The next quarterback in that class that we got to see all the way into the playoffs, we got to see this kid, Michael Iverson. Let's take a look at Coach Rob's quarterback. I know he's going to be excited to have another season with this kid. 93.2 QB rating, 3,555 yards, 27 touchdowns, 26 picks. Completion percentage, he was 67%. You'll take that all day. That's a high completion percentage for a quarterback. And in the run game, he had 66 carries for 530. He had a half a man, 3 rushing touchdowns. He averaged 8 yards a carry. So I can see nothing but more football out of him. I think he's going to be on some bullshit all year. He's going to be wild, and he's going to be a dog. I think he makes that NFC South a little bit more interesting at quarterback right now. He can put his name in the hat as one of the better quarterbacks in that division. With Slater also, Salter also stepping up for the Saints as well. So very special rookie running backs that I'm looking forward to seeing, that I know these guys will be playing. So I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully Boone can show us what Shoes Brinkley could do. But Roger Craig Jr. for the Falcons, I can't wait to see what he is now that he's unlocked as a receiving threat and a running back out the backfield. We're looking at where they at. I'm looking for him. Marshawn Lynch. We know he's going to be an animal. Let's look at the numbers of Roger Craig. And he had to play with him locked the whole year. 84 attempts, 412 yards, 4.9. Granted, he was not the starting running back over here. 9 touchdowns. At times, he started off as the 3rd running back, and then he worked his way into the third down back. 38 catches, 429 yards, 4 touchdowns. So production, he almost had about almost a little bit over 800 yards, double-digit touchdowns as a productive running back. Well, I expect him to be the starter next year, this season coming up, and I expect these numbers to go completely up at the running back position with Roger Craig. I gotta talk about a couple guys that wasn't rookies last year, but that was stepping though. So we go to Marshawn Lynch. He was a rookie last year. Let's dig into what he did. I think we're gonna see a lot more out of him. 193 carries for 1193. He did touch the 1,000-yard mark. 6.2 yards a carry. He had 10 rushing touchdowns. I expect those carries to go up next year, and I expect the yards to go up. I think he will be a 2,000-yard back during the last season. With Marshawn Lynch Jr. He's going to be a problem for that Tennessee Titans team. Lil Neff played pretty well. I hope to see Christian Okoye. Bess Sanders, here's another running back. I doubt he's going to play. I know they got their own little league going on right now, so I doubt that young foe is going to play the final season. But I would love to see, if he is playing, I would love to see him stretch this a little farther. He had 233 carries. This guy started off slow and then went bonkers. 1,309 yards, 17 rushing touchdowns. So he balled out. I see what the trophy room looked like, because I do think he won the award, which was Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFC. So he ended up balling, Bess Sanders. So hopefully we can see a little bit more of him before it's all said and done. Because he deserves to show us a little bit more of him, because he played, like I said, he played pretty well. Any other running backs? Earl Campbell could have done up. Westerman stepped up a little bit. Eric Allen, Amtrak Bettis, Danian Thomason, Jermaine Shelby, Marcus Allen Jr. Probably going to see a little bit of him now that he's unlocked. Ironhead, Nathan Means. Now I know Harold Burgers is playing, so we are going to see something out of him. Nathan Means, big back, big bruiser with really good speed. So I expect to see a little bit out of him this year, especially when you take that number off him. Now 3.1, he wasn't unlocked all year, but when that average will go up, I can promise you that. And the moment he able to establish a run game over there with these Patriots, he's going to be a problem, because he already got the passing locked down, and his quarterback Najee Harris, his little nephew, played really well for him in his second season. So while he was playing, so we should see something out of Nathan Means. Can't wait to see what that guy looks like. And the running backs. Now, Catrone Allen is not a rookie. He got 4 years under his belt. This will be his 4th season. But he did have a starting job for the first time over as a Colt. And I really enjoyed to see what he was brought to the table for the Colts. I do think he now will be their #1 running back. They did have 3 running backs over there. And it was Devin Ford who was the starter. And as the season kept going, Catrone Allen started to become that guy. I think it's going to be his job next year. I think Devin Ford will go to the #2 back, and this guy will get the bulk of the carries, and we're going to see nothing but a rise in production with him. Catrone Allen, I think he's going to go dummies. Another running back that went bonkers. I might just got to go to speed to find him. And there we go. Jaleel Ruggs as the full-time starter last year. He went fucking dummies with this guy. All right, 313 carries, 2,046 yards, 21 touchdowns. As you can see, he almost cracked 1,000 yards as a rookie, and the production of carries went up. Everything went up with this guy. And every sense of the word, he was off the hook all year long. So I'm expecting him to do really good things this season, in his 3rd season. I definitely think he's going to top that 2,046 yard mark. I think he's going to be a 30 touchdown guy with at least 2,500 yards rushing. I can see that happening when he. Just because he's that guy right now. Like, he's really that good, that guy. As far as receivers. Oh, no, I missed the quarterback. I'm sorry. We got to take it there. My bad. Missed the rookie quarterback that balled out. Let me find that kid. Where he at? There you go. Jamal Montana for the Washington football team. All he did was take over Kevin Harvey's job and do his job better. Simple as that. And he got them to a playoff and a higher seeding. And they were one fucked up Madden play away from being in the divisional round. Simple as that. He got robbed on a pass. The referees called his receiver out of bounds, and he clearly had 2 feet in. which ended this young quarterback's playoff run short, which, you know, controversy as hell because he should have. There's no way that should have happened. But 89.2 QB rating, he threw for 3,949 yards, 30 touchdowns, 34 INTs, 65% on the season. So this is why that team played at a high level in the beginning and down the stretch. The moment they made the switch to him as quarterback, that team went bonkers because he helped them not turn the ball over as much as they usually turn the ball over, and that defense got to play a lot more not in urgent situations where they got to come off the field after a stop and run back on the field and get another one. They was able to go on the sideline, relax, gather themselves, watch their offense put some drives together, score some points, and then they go back on the field. And if that continues to happen and get even better, that defense for Washington is going to be fucking nuts. And if they put this together with the offense and this quarterback and continue to keep their defense from jumping right on the field, they're going to be a problem. Simple as that. Jamal Montana, like what he did, couldn't ignore him. Receivers, we did have some young receivers going off this year. Callie Johnson had a hell of a start. I think we're going to see a lot more of him this season. Honestly, I think what hurt Callie Johnson was the emergence of that tight end over there. That tight end Howard took everything away from this guy. Like he took his touches away. So they started off, 22 catches, 350, 15.9. He did have 6 touchdowns. He started off hot, but he slowly became a player whose number got called less and less because of the emergence of the tight end. They had a 2 tight end system over there that was fucking bonkers, and because of that, this guy didn't get his number called as much as he should have. And I definitely think that's going to change this season. I think he will get the ball a lot more, and we're going to see something out of him because he is special at 6'6", 230, big body, Galvatron too. Another rookies at receiver. I didn't get to see Peter Ward really at all. Fresh Priest Ward or Lil Pac. We didn't get to see him as a special, just punt returner. But Torrey Holt played well, and he did that without being unlocked. So he was playing. He didn't have an ability all year, and he definitely went stupid dummy all year. 47 catches, 863, 15 touchdowns. So he balled out at times. He was their number 1 receiver at times. So I want to see what happens this season. Like, does he become the number 1 threat? Because he got targeted a lot last year as a Colt in his rookie season. They trusted this guy as if he'd been on the team for 4 seasons already. The way they trusted him. And now, when he got to the big games, the rookiness came out where I don't know if the coach shut him down or he just couldn't get open in big games. I don't know what it was. I don't know if the coaching staff just wasn't making him part of the game plan during big games, or he just didn't show up during the big games. And that would be my only concern about him. Can he do it when the lights are on? When you playing somebody as a somebody, can this guy be the number 1 receiver? Because outside of that, every game he got the majority of the targets. So I don't know if that was that by design or he just wasn't ready, especially not being unlocked. Alright, as you keep going down, we had some guys that played well. Sterling Sharp Jr. Let's talk about him. You had to really rely on him a little bit because AI got hurt last season for like 9 weeks and shit. What type of receiver was this guy for you?
He's every bit as advertised. He's kind of worried whether come out of college, whether he was still going to be able to maintain his physicality. His drive off of the football, be able to create separation. Like I said, everything is advertised. He came in physical.
Well, you drafted him. You drafted him because of his blocking skills. Not to cut you off, right? I think he was one of the one receiver that came out of any of our draft classes that was a bona fide do-it-all receiver. Can make the play, can run the routes, can get vertical, but he will bend a DB in the run game. In the run game, he didn't come off the field at all.
Not at all.
Now my question would be, how do you, with the emergence of you brought back Rashad Bateman, you still got the kid over there, what's his name? Oh my God, what's my boy name? Brew McCoy, and now Sterling Sharp. Does he move up on the depth chart? Is this guy gonna get his number called as a #1 receiver over there, or is he gonna continue to play the role he played last year and just build off of that?
It's still Rashad's team, but he's being pushed. He's really being pushed. But he already surpassed Brew. He's already the the #2 receiver.
Right.
We may actually there may actually be a rotation to be the X receiver. So it may not just be Rashad every game. You may actually see Sharp Jr.
playing that X receiver role.
#1.
Yeah. And that's the luxury to have when you got a couple of receivers that's interchangeable. Because even Brew McCoy can be in that category as being an X receiver at times. He's done it, so it's not like it's not foreign to him. He's been there, done that. But Sterling almost had 1,000 yards. He had 7 touchdowns. He was 3 touchdowns away from double digits as well. So he played really well. Can't wait to see what he looked like coming into this last season. As we keep looking at the young receivers, we got to talk about some of these guys that played. Terrell Owens over there. Let's see what he did for Mike. I think Mike tried to get him involved. 47 catches, 724, and 5 touchdowns. That's very impressive for Mike, especially with a rookie receiver. So I do think this will be his #1 receiver coming into the last season. So little baby Terrell, Jaylen Brown, second season. Ram Moss, man, we got to click on Ram Moss, see what he did. He went dummies this year. It's rare for us to have a rookie receiver and he becomes the #1, the X receiver right away. Like, that's all he did. He was the guy. Lamar got himself in trouble. He enjoyed throwing the football to this guy so much that he pretty much went to 3 to 4 picks a game just trying to get the ball to this guy, to get him going. Well, he had 61 catches, 1557, and 24 touchdowns. This is not at all one of the better rookie seasons we've seen out of any rookie receivers. Trust me, we've had some guys that came in their first season and went the fuck dummies. But the fact that this kid we was able to rely on him in any type of game, a big game. Guys knew that we were throwing the ball to him. They were game planning around it, double teaming him, making sure they was over the top, and he just still Randy Mossed them all day. So I can imagine what he's going to look like in the second year. Now, this guy dropped about 15 touchdowns, and I'm not talking about contested where he go up and another guy go up and it's like, oh, you should call. I'm talking about dropped in the end zone by himself. He had it all the way down to the ground and let the bitch go. About 12 to 15 of them. So that takes away, you figure he catch half of those. We looking at 30-something touchdowns on the season. So I can't wait to see what he's going to do in this last season. I think he's going to be a fucking problem. We had another guy that I think now that he got his guys in the record book as far as having 3 receivers with 100 catches. I gotta go to him first, and then I'm gonna come back to. It sucks that Maurice Teller was playing well before Hillberger shut it down. Romeo Bonds. I'll ask you this, Guns. With that receiving core the Chargers got over there, man, do we see Romeo Bonds being that guy this year, like going out the last season? Because he couldn't get this guy going the way he wanted to because he was chasing the record book with his other 3 receivers. Now that those records were achieved, do we see Romeo being a guy over here for him? Giving him a new toy to play with? I do too. I see the same thing. Absolutely. Flat out see it that way.
He's definitely going to try to get this receiver in some kind of record book. He's going to try to get this receiver somewhere. Get his name somewhere.
Somewhere. He ain't going to have the time to get him in all-time yard shit, but he going to do something where it be a single season type situation. Where he might have him.
It's a game record or something.
He gonna do something. You're 100% right. I agree. He gonna fucking bum me out. I think he gonna wild out. And then the other guy I slid past, Tim Israel. Remember when we talked about him? It was like, I don't know. The Bears got the same type of receiver he already got. What is he gonna do? How he gonna get the ball to all these guys? They all like the same type of receivers. So let's go look at his numbers, see what he did. 16 catches, 350, 2 touchdowns. Now my question is, this guy's dynamic. He likes him. I know he likes him. And he spoke about him early on in the season. I think his production going to go up. I think he's going to slide to the number 2 receiver. I don't think he's going to take Tutu Atwell's spot at all, but I do think he's going to slide into that number 2 role, where we're going to see him having he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver along with his first receiver Tutu. And he's really good in the kick and punt return game too. So we should see how that go. But the guy that probably was the most surprising out of all the receivers that came out last year, he has the name, but he wasn't on the team that throws the football, and that's Jimmy Rice. And what Nano did with Jimmy Rice last year was very impressive. I seen this guy win him big games. 51 catches, 1,155 yards, and 18 receiving touchdowns with Jimmy Rice. I think if Nano can build off of that, because he also had Tyreek Black playing well too. If he could build off of that though, I think we could see him playing in the last Super Bowl, bro. If we get to that point and we get to that Super Bowl, I think he could play in it, because he really threw the ball really well last year, and he improved so much that you couldn't load. Some teams had to stop loading that box up to play him, where they just putting 8 and 9 in the box, because when they was doing that, Jimmy was just going dummies. And I'm talking about everything: crossing routes, deep balls, post routes, 50-50s, whatever it was, he made the play. So I can't wait to see what he's going to do next season for sure. We had some other player standouts, man. I want to see what Deuce Sanders is going to do at cornerback now that he's in his second season. This guy was a shutdown as a rookie. So for the Tennessee Titans, I would love to see how that's going to play itself out. We're going to go to the NFL real fast. We're going to do a little bit of talking, and we can finish this conversation. But I do have 2 people on, so it's not just going to be my opinion. We're not going to stand... I'm not going to stand in here and kill it long. We already been on here for an hour. But what I want to do is I want to go to the career stats. And we want to talk about some of these guys, man. And we're just going to start at the quarterback position. I'm going to get both of y'all opinions right now. As you look at quarterbacks and we look at the yards, guys that have been in the league for a while. So Patty Mahomes in the league. I'll ask both of y'all guys, does this guy get a blue jacket, Patrick Mahomes?
Alright, so we're looking at what, 51,000 yards,
398 touchdowns, but 348 picks.
Right. I still think that he gets the knock at the door. I just don't think it's year 1.
And then you gotta look at, playoffs. He hasn't played in the playoffs at all. Like from the Chiefs team to the Tennessee Titans team, they wasn't playoff teams. So he just played in the regular season. He usually come out. If you look at him and you break his season stats down, side of the years that they gonna count, we're not gonna count from 20. We're gonna start at 21. He had a 4,687 yard, 37 touchdowns, 25 picks, and then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in Kansas City. So let's look at it. His 5-year run in Kansas City, he made the playoffs 1 time in his 5 years at Kansas City, and that was the first year the Coach Brandt took over him. But look at him: 26 touchdowns, 28 picks, 37 touchdowns, 24 picks. That's not bad. Then you get to 30 touchdowns, 37 picks, 34 touchdowns, 34 picks. Then he gets to Tennessee, and it's 26 picks, 38 picks, 29 touchdowns, 33 picks, 31 touchdowns, 56 picks. So he started to throw way more interceptions than when he got to Tennessee. 34 touchdowns, 47 picks. So each year at Tennessee, he threw more interceptions than touchdowns. And then that alone, and then not really being in the playoffs out of his 13-year career, I just think he didn't play well enough to even be considered Hall of Fame, bro. I don't think he's getting a knock on the door, in my opinion.
I mean, those 51,000 yards is impressive. That's almost, just trying to. We all know what happened in Dan Marino's career, but he still had the numbers.
Right.
Without the Super Bowl appearances, without the playoff appearances, I still think he gets the knock. It's just
that's a good way to look
early.
at it. That's a good way to. I think they're gonna miss him a couple of years. I think they have to come swing back around. And I think that because of the guys that are in his league that will probably get the call before him. at quarterback. But I do think like you say, he can get the knock. I don't think he's going to get it at all. But I see where you coming from. I like that Dan Marino reference. So I could see it maybe, but I think he'll miss it a couple of years. Like I think he'll be like a third, fourth year, maybe fifth year guy.
Or longer than that. I just think he may be one of those guys that it takes the Veterans Committee to get him in, but I still think he gets the knock one day.
No doubt. All right, Lamar Jackson, Blue Jacket guy. I'll ask hitter. Let's start with hitter first. Does Lamar get in to the Hall of Fame, to Real Draft Hall of Fame? First ballot Hall of Famer. 44,707 yards. He threw for 469 touchdowns, 280 INTs. He was 64% in his career. And then you have to dig into the rushing numbers with him as well when you look at him as a whole. And without going into anything, on this list right now, career rushing yards, he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on this list, where he's almost 425 yards away from 10,000 rushing yards in his career. He'll get that this season, his last season. He should better get that. Now, there's really no argument there. I agree too. I do think he gets a knock on the door as soon as he's eligible. As soon as he's eligible, he get knocked on the door. And here's a tough question though. Justin Herbert. Now you got two Justin Herberts. You got the Chargers Justin Herbert and the Eagles Justin Herbert. It's almost the Patrick Mahomes conversation. Is this quarterback Hall of Famer? Does he get a knock on the door? As the Charger, 5,337 yards, 60 touchdowns, 34 picks. He threw 70 touchdowns as a Charger, 28 picks. He threw 80 touchdowns as a Charger, 32 picks. He came back and threw another 69 touchdowns, 38 picks. He got hurt first year in Philadelphia. No. He played this year. He threw for 4,433 yards, 23 touchdowns, 25 picks. But then he got hurt in his 2026 year, so that's a wash. And then after that, 39, 54, 30, and 33. 46,700 yards. 27 touchdowns, 38 picks, and then he had 3,844 yards, 38, 44, 23, and 36 picks. Does Herbert get in?
I don't think so.
I like the front end.
His
front end, he was a Hall of Famer.
For his franchise, he'll make the Ring of Honor. I just don't know if he gets that knock.
Yeah, this guy. The Chargers actually won a Super Bowl the year they traded him. They traded him, and then that year they went to the Super Bowl with Shador at quarterback. But the first 4 years of his career, 1, 2, 3, 4, he was playing Hall of Fame football, flat out. And he was probably being the best quarterback in the league those 4 years. And then he went to Philadelphia, got the scenery change, and then things fell off there. Now, granted, a lot of these numbers, remember Mark was on that training shit where he was going for down there a month. So a lot of that was the active coach not really being active, but then you'll think the computer, Justin Herbert should have still played at a high level. So I don't agree. I don't think he gets in at all. It sucks because I will argue that he can get the call somewhere along a knock on the door with the front end of his number. His first 4 years, it's Trump's Mahomes. Now, the difference is Mahomes had all those extra years to get that 51,102 yards.
Right.
But yeah. All right, so let's look at Corey Richardson, my player quarterback. 40,958 yards passing. He threw 369 touchdowns, 260 interceptions, 67% on the year. On his career right now. Does Corey Richardson get in the Hall of Fame?
If Herbert don't get in, I don't see how Corey Richardson can get in.
And see, I agree with you here. Here's why. Because we have that. We have that quick sense of saying, "Oh my God, like he played well." Corey throw the ball again. I don't think he gets in, bro. I think he was a good quarterback. I don't think he was great. And he didn't have any moments where it was like, "Oh my God," You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is like that. Like, he just plays solid for him. I think any quarterback that would have came in his system would have did these numbers because of how he plays. So I don't
Right,
think this
and
guy was
also,
special.
and also just like Herbert, you know, with the absence and with the missing of games and not being as active, he didn't, you know.
Yeah, he had a lot of absent seasons where he barely played. So I mean, he went on like a
Hmm.
3-year run where he played when he could play. He didn't really play his games. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's that. So yeah, I don't think he's in. I would say the same thing with Kyler Murray. I would say the same thing with Kyler Murray. I don't think Kyler Murray played enough games, user games, to do anything to stand out. But when he was playing, this guy played in 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. And he lost them, but he took his team to 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. And he was playing at a high level. And then we can look at some of his running numbers as well. So before
Hmm.
I taint anything, is Kyler Murray a Hall of Famer?
I think he's going to follow the two quarterbacks before him. He's going to be remembered by his own fans because you know he's going to make the Ring of Honor for his own team.
Right.
But as far as the jacket, I just think that these coaches did their players a disservice by missing so many games.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me tell Bo we're gonna leave it here. I will repost schedule. All right. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think he gets his name hung up in the stadium in Arizona, but he doesn't get the call to Canton at all. He don't get the call to Camden at all.
Which is still not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
So
Make Ring
Corey
of Honor.
Stanley, the my player quarterback. I would say the same thing. I would say he played well, played in the Super Bowl, got his team to the playoffs on the latter years. The first couple of years, he really played like shit. And then they got another coach that threw the ball really well, and then they got another coach that threw the ball really well that had him playing at a high level. So he on his back end he started to play well, but I just don't see uh, Hall of Fame. What I do see is the best quarterback that the Bears ever had outside of McMahon. Remember, what's his name? McCannon, whatever his fucking name was, the little glass
Jim
eye guy,
McMahon.
Jim McMahon. I mean, Corey Stanley played really well for this Bears team. But I don't think he was a Hall of Famer at all.
Yeah, he's great. He's definitely the greatest Bear quarterback of all time, but it's not enough for the Hall.
All right. Now, here's an interesting question. Trevor Lawrence, man. And I would say the Patriots fucked his career up, but let's talk about that for a second. Harold Burgers diminished this kid. And he did it by drafting another player at that position. I don't think that this kid was over with. I think he could have still been playing at a high level, and he got traded to the Patriots. And had one season really as a Patriots quarterback, and then he had to battle for the starting job the very next season and lost his job to Najee Israel. So, Trevor Lawrence though, he has is this a Hall of Famer at all? First ballot Hall of Famer? What is he like?
I would make definitely not first ballot, but I would make an argument because of his Super Bowls.
He won how many? He won
And
4.
let's
I'll
see,
tell you right now how many
two,
Super. He won about 3. He won at least 3.
Right, and he was the MVP of a few of those as well.
He won. Let's see. That's Trevor Lawrence. He won a Super Bowl in year 1. He won a Super Bowl in year 2. I think he even won a Super Bowl in year 3. I think he won 3 back-to-backs, and then Falk won it and then he won it again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he won 4 of them.
Yeah, I think he gets in.
And then he goes to New England and he throws for 5,000 yards and 4,000 yards in his 2 seasons at New England, and then he gets benched. And he's been on the bench ever since. I guess he hit his wall, and it wasn't by Trevor Lawrence in any way that he diminished and he couldn't play this game anymore. It was just that he had nowhere to play. Everybody had their guy. It was almost like he just got motherfucking blackballed.
Right.
Like, they kind of did Trevor. Like, we need to really talk about this. They did Trevor Lawrence dirty, bro. Like, that's fucked up. This guy was one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the league. I mean, he was on his way to Tom Brady type numbers for our Super Bowls. I mean, he was, and then got traded out of nowhere and went to a team where he just didn't. It just didn't work, man.
I would love to know what happened for a Super Bowl MVP to lose his job.
And he did not lost his job. He lost his job because the Raiders just fucked their money up over there. They couldn't afford him. They had to get rid of him. They just couldn't sign him.
I mean, in New England.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened in New England, man. That was mind-boggling, man. This was like, I mean, this probably was the worst decision this kid ever made, where somebody made for him, because he got traded to a team that he looked like he wanted. I mean, maybe look, his first year as a New England coach, 85.5 QB rating. He threw the numbers, 5,731 yards, but he threw 63 interceptions. Then he comes back and throws 48. Do you think that's the reason why he got benched? Maybe
so. Maybe he got there and he just pressed too much. Was there a lot of pressure to turn the franchise around?
Yeah, that, or with the pressure of the Patriots threw the ball at a high level and they had nobody at quarterback. The 1 year they did have a quarterback, Dak Prescott, they won their division and made it to the playoffs. So then he comes in with that, I'm a Super Bowl winner, that prestige is behind him, and the expectations are super high because we were talking that the Patriots finally got them a quarterback. What's going to happen over there? Well, the problem was he didn't consider what else was going over there in the East. Everybody over there was on some monster building shit. So when they gave up those draft picks and shit to go get Trevor Lawrence in that corner, they had to take a 2-year sit where they couldn't really build their team. So the team around them wasn't as good. So all you had was throw the ball to Anthony Schwartz. You had no running backs. You had nothing else to go along with that, and you damn sure ain't have a defense that could stop anybody. So I just think it was the team, the GM and the team, everything was around him wasn't the right wasn't around him. Like we kept calling him a system quarterback. Once he got outside that Raiders system, what happened? It's easy to sit in the Raiders system and be a good quarterback, because we saw him do it with 2 quarterbacks. We saw a young stallion come over there and do exactly what Trevor Lawrence did, right? But then we seen Trevor Lawrence go somewhere else in the system that's nothing like the Raiders system and not do anything. So he was a system quarterback in Clemson. He leaves Clemson, goes to the Raiders. He's playing a system, and then he gets to New England. He has to play orthodox football. The system changes, and he doesn't fit that scheme or nothing. He hasn't been able to get a starting job since. So with that all being said, do we ignore a guy that won 4 Super Bowls, Joe Montana?
We can't.
He got to still be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but I mean, because he didn't just play and win 4 Super Bowls. He was MVPs of some of those Super Bowls.
Right. Wow, what a story though. Just think about it. This is what Real Draft does. What a story. 4 Super Bowls, on his way to some Tom Brady shit. Because if he stays, he probably would have won 2 more at least. We probably could have walked out of here with at least 6 Super Bowls with Trevor Lawrence, winning the most Super Bowls a starting quarterback ever won, right? But he got traded due to money situations going over there. They couldn't afford to get that man a contract, and they lost their guy. And he was, I mean, at that point, when you went to 4 straight Super Bowls and won them, you can demand whatever the fuck you want. You should be getting paid like Patrick Mahomes. And they couldn't afford it. So they sent him somewhere else. He goes to that next team, and we realize, wait, was he really who he was? Was he that guy? Or was the system, and he just happened to be the quarterback in that system? Because we watched another quarterback from that system win a Super Bowl and get his team to a Super Bowl, right? And then we watched Trevor just diminish, bro. He just diminished. But what a fucking what a story, bro. Oh my God. First ballot Hall of Famer whose career ended way shorter than it was supposed to. And you only get that in RDL. And here's why his story ended so fast. Because real draft there's always somebody coming up. There's always a guy coming out that could be that guy. And there's always that tease of how many times have you had to keep yourself from drafting something knowing you had that player already. Like, damn, this running back was really good here, but AI my guy. No, I can't do it. Can't do it. Fuck it, I'm not gonna draft him. How many quarterbacks was coming out where it was like, I know I got Trevor Lawrence, but this fucking guy looked really, really interesting. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. Najee Israel came out, and it was like, here's the next Lamar right here. Fuck Trevor Lawrence. And it just happened to be that way, and then he goes to the Chargers as a backup, bro. Like, what a like that can end fuck with somebody's mental, bro. Like, that's trifling. Like, what do you do? Like, I would love to interview Trevor Lawrence right now. Like, look, this is the 30-30 right here, 30-30 story right here. Like, this is the story for Andrew right here for the TV show right here.
So if that's the case, then that means that Trevor just got caught up in the NFL just changing again, you know. But every quarterback who came before Lamar who could run, but the NFL just wasn't ready for that caliber of player. Now, when the NFL was ready for that caliber of player and that player was celebrated, now you got the traditional quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence that got left behind. Wow.
If you think about it, how many pocket passing quarterbacks was left in RDL where they were pure pocket passers and they wasn't dual threats? It was the numbers changed. The numbers went from damn near every team had a dual threat quarterback. I mean, you got Zach Wilson wasn't a dual threat, right? Was a flat out passer. Trevor Lawrence wasn't a real dual threat, although he played in the RPO system where he ran the football a lot at Clemson. So he did have enough speed to be able to play, but he wasn't that, you know, that, oh my God, 90 plus or above speed guy. And you go through the league, bro, you're not going to find too many quarterbacks that, you know, that aren't runners, bro. That the whole league changed to what real NFL is looking like right now anyway, starting to change to where everybody got a dual threat. So like you said, the game might have just passed him, bro. Like the change of the game at that position caused him to be a backup after winning 4 Super Bowls, bro. And not just 4 in a row. Let's take a look, bro. Trevor fucking Lawrence, bro. Oh my God. Look, 5 Pro Bowl appearances, league leader in passing rate in 2 years in a row, most valuable player MVP, 2025 best quarterback, right? So then you come out of here and we go look at the league history. Let's see if he was MVP at any of these Super Bowls. Let's go find him real fast. Before we go through the league history. Let's go all the way back to 21. All right, so Brian Mills won the first MVP Super Bowl. So Trevor Lawrence was there to manage that game. It really was a Michael Carter year that first season. But in 22, the Raiders won 23-26. Remember this got Sim, but this was the year he balled out. Remember he threw like 11 touchdown passes on Boone that same year, and then came back and he dominated. So this would have been his MVP year. This was the game he was blowing Boone the fuck out in, right? Remember, and Boone quit the game. And we simmed it, not realizing that he quit the game. So this is not the Cardinals win, this is the Raiders win. And this was the year he was MVP. So we'll count that year as MVP. Comes back in 23. All right, Mikael Wright. Now it sucks because you know the game. All a corner gotta do is get a pick and take it to the crib. They'll give him the MVP over a fucking quarterback real fast. So I don't know what happened, but on paper he wasn't the MVP of this game either. And then they come back this year, and Michael Carter gets the MVP against the Cowboys. All right, then we go out of that year, 25. The Chargers beat the Bears. Then we go back to 26. He comes right back, and at this point he got a new quarterback now. So he won 4 straight, bro. And then he comes back, new quarterback, wins it again. So this guy walked out there with 6 of them things. And then you had the Chargers win it with Jalen Burgers. And then the 29, you had the Andy Katzenmoyer. Look, he had 1 INT to the crib, and now he was the MVP of that Super Bowl too on Super Bowl And Shador won the MVP. Cool. All right. So I mean, that's crazy. That's a great story to have, man, for the TV show. Even though we starting it in 22, that's something to come back to and really take a look at Trevor Lawrence and his downfall. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so let's go look at the running backs real fast, man. As far as ballots. Michael Carter, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Let me ask you this: is he the best running back of RDL?
Ever.
He's the best running back ever?
Yeah. He's the GOAT. He's Michael Jordan of the league.
MC8, man. First ballot for sure. I definitely think so. A lot of his decline was the fact that they went into their passing game just exploded to the point where it was just like, I don't even need to run no more. I think we talked him out of running because he was the wiggle guy, right? He was pretty much the guy who started the wiggling, right? And we killed that wiggling shit so much, he killed the narrative by just throwing the ball all game long. His system worked really well. His system dominated the league. And when he had to run him, he did. But what happened, if you look at his numbers as we dig into it, first I want to go to his trophy case. And this guy trophy case is probably one of the longest trophy cases we're going to see. Six Pro Bowl appearances. He league leader in rushing yards once. Most valuable MVP in 2021. Offensive player of the year. Offensive player rookie of the year. Best running back, all in 2021. He comes back in 2022, double up, most valuable player. Offensive player of the year, best running back. Comes back in 23 and get best running back. And then he comes back in 24 and does it again, most valuable player. So this guy won MVP of the league 3 straight years. He's the best player ever. Offensive player of the year in 24 and then best running back in 24. That's the awards. Now let's look at his career yards rushing. From 21, he had 25, 44, 48 touchdowns. He comes back and fouls that up where nobody, Nano, I can't say nobody, Nano has beaten this record. But he had the first running back to ever rush for 3,300 in our league, 3,308 yards, 11.4, and 46 touchdowns that year. He followed that up with another 2,098-yard game, season, 29 touchdowns. And then he comes right back and goes 2,667 yards. And then he's been 1,000-yard back ever since that 24 season, right? He was 2,000, 3,000, 2,000, 2,000, and then he drops down, and his production went down, and it was because he found the passing game. He found that scheme, and that scheme dominated. He ain't had to run the ball too much no more, right? 14 for 47 here, 28 touchdowns and 27. As he got older, and his last 2 years of really not playing himself, he just missed 1,000 yards. 875 and 894. First ballot for sure. Now the running back's getting older. He's already in the league 9 years. You can start to see the decline here. That's why he's not 1,000-yard back anymore, because his wheels is fucking flat. He don't have tires anymore. Simple as that. But he ran his way right into Camden. New Jersey's Hall of Fame. Travis Etienne, is he a Hall of Fame running back?
I'm looking at his numbers now. Yeah.
What do you think, Hitter?
I give him an honorable mention.
So you saying when he's eligible, he won't go in that year? They're gonna have to come back and talk to him.
Yeah, there's gonna be some heavy considerations on that.
8 Pro Bowls out of 9 seasons. He's been in the Pro Bowl 8 years. He had Offensive Rookie of the Year 21 and Offensive Player of the Year in 24. Best runner back in 24.
Almost 15,000 yards, over 200 touchdowns. He makes it.
He had a gravy division.
I will argue that he makes it, but I don't think he. Wait, what are we talking about? He makes it, bro, and he might be first ballot. He's a playoff running back every year. He goes deep in the playoffs every year. He's made it to 1 Super Bowl and lost. But I mean, 31 touchdowns, 24 touchdowns, 24 touchdowns, 25 touchdowns, 19, 27, 18, 20, 15. Even in his down rushing years, 4.9 yards a carry, he's 12.62. And we know he's getting up there older in age right now. Hold on a second.
I say definitely Hall of Fame.
Hello? Hey. Nah, I ain't heard. What happened? Fat, chubby dude? How? Damn. That's the guy that always be at that first store all the time, right? Wow. How long ago was this? Oh, wow. Damn. That's crazy. Oh my God, that's fucking crazy. He was cool though. He was alright. Wow. Damn. He's always like, your mom home? I'm like, yeah, she up there. Fuck out of there. Oh my God, that's crazy, man. Sorry to hear that. And so he said he just stopped breathing? He couldn't breathe? Yeah, that shit crazy. And y'all was close, right? Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I know. The one that got the limp, right, is to be with Gwenny. Yeah. God damn. I'm sorry to hear that shit. This shit crazy. Oh man. I gotta make sure I start taking my blood pressure medicine every day. This shit getting crazy. Well, I'm here if you need to talk. I know that was your peoples and shit. But I'm here. I'm on the game right now doing my podcast show and shit. But I'm here. All right. You up, Erica? You know the fat dude that used to be at the corner store. Remember the lady like, he better give me my money. I got nephews. You don't remember his face and like you don't remember what we talking about. But you know what that situation though, right? She said he just died. I'm about to distance myself from her. Everybody should know. God damn. She like the Black Widow. Oh man. So what was you saying, Guns, about Travis?
I still stand by and my statement. I say he's a Hall of Famer.
First ballot.
With 15,000 yards, over 200 touchdowns, averaging 103.8 yards per game over his career, and only 12 fumbles, I say yes.
All right, and Hitter, you said something about division. Like, why don't you feel like he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
He had a gravy division.
Easy division, you think?
Yeah, man, he guaranteed playoffs every season.
I mean, all right.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think 203 touchdowns. We ain't even talking about what he did as a receiver because he did use him as a receiver as well.
Check down Charlie.
Check down Chiggity. Is this guy? I don't know. Is Hitter biased because he played him and he don't like him? Is that what this is going on right now? This guy, I think he's first ballot. I think D West did a really good job with it. Here's a tough question: Najee Harris. Is Najee Harris a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Let's see, 14,000 yards. Ooh, 14,000, 7.6. 157 touchdowns, almost 100 yards a game. Only 7 fumbles over his career.
He has no type of trophy case outside of Pro Bowl appearances, 6 of Here's my thing about Najee as an LA Charger. He was underutilized. This probably was the back that had more yards than anybody's running back with less carries. 180, 1488. He's always 1,500 yards or above, and he barely got the ball over 160, 70 times. He never really got 200 carries. And the years he did get 200 carries, let's look at it. In year 2, he had 219 carries, 2,140 yards, 29 touchdowns. Year 3, 2011 carries, 1875, 8.9, 23 touchdowns. But every outside of that, it was 178 carries, 160 carries, 178, 182. Look, yeah, 1,778, 22 touchdowns. As a Charger, at 182, 1283, 15 touchdowns. 182 carries, 1636, 20 touchdowns. I mean, the guy 9 yards a carry and 26, 7 yards a carry and 25, 10 yards a carry and 24, 8.9, 9 yards a carry again and 23. 10 yards a carry in 22 and 8 yards a carry in 21. I mean, this is he was a monster. But you get to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh 262 carries. This might have been the most carries he ever had for 1755, 16 touchdowns. And then last year, 233 carries for 967 and 5 touchdowns. The decline happened then. This guy was vital in their Super Bowl run. If it was up to me, I think he should have got the MVP of their Super Bowl. I don't know if he did or not. I'm gonna go back and take a look at that real fast, because remember that playoff run. This is the reason why he went to the Super Bowl and won it. He ran the ball like crazy with Najee Harris. He did not do faulty football, which is Peyton Manning at the line of scrimmage. He handed the ball off to Najee Harris, and Najee took him through every last one of those, the wild card round, the divisional round, the championship round, and the Super Bowl. That guy had 100+ yards carrying and double digits. I mean, 2 touchdowns at least in every one of those games. So let's go look at the MVP of his Super Bowl and see if they gave it to him or a defender. League history.
I mean, he made a believer out of me. He eliminated me twice out of the playoffs just riding Najee Harris as a Charger.
Look, Super Bowl MVP that year, Najee Harris.
So yeah, I mean, I give him the nod.
Is he first ballot?
I can't say first ballot.
I'm not going to say first ballot, but I think we got a Trevor Lawrence story here. And here's why. Probably had the best running back in the league outside of MC8, but was underutilized. Like, Najee did not get used the way he should have got used, right? And because of that, I think he, it kept his, that's why he's still playing at a high level for the Steelers, because he wasn't overused. In my opinion, Najee Harris, if he was getting carries like the rest of these running backs was getting carries, we would probably be talking about way bigger numbers than what he has right now, which is 1430. I think he'd have been somewhere close to where T was at if he gave him the ball.
Right. I mean, and he's not far. I mean, he's just 2,000+ yards away from MC8.
In the first parts of the real draft, when we talked about year 1, 2, 3, almost even a 4, remember the conversation with Michael Carter, Travis Etienne, and Najee Harris, who was the best? It was Michael Carter number 1, and then it was 2B, 2A when it came down to Najee and Etienne. When you look at the career stats on these guys right now, they're 1, 2, and 3 in the league right now. That's crazy. I think all of them are Hall of Fame running backs. Now, Journey Brown. This is an interesting question right here. Is Journey a Hall of Famer?
Almost 12,000 yards.
Here's my opinion. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Journey goes up in the Detroit Lions Ring of Fame, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. What about you, Hitter? Is he a Hall of Famer?
Only 9 fumbles in his career, 120 touchdowns.
He's been a 1,000-yard back every year, but is that enough to put him in the Hall of Fame? Does he go to Camden? 1787 as a rookie, 27 touchdowns. He's always been a double-digit guy too. He's never had a season where he scored under 10 touchdowns as a runner.
Any Pro Bowls? Any best running back? Any hardware?
All right, here we go. Pro Bowl appearance. He's only had 1 Pro Bowl appearance as a running back. He had 2022 Offensive Player of the Year, 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year, and 2022 Best Running Back his rookie year. Outside of that, no.
It's gonna be tough.
He's been a playoff back. I
And
think Journey.
I know, and I know you love this running back.
I love.
But he
Journey
did it
Brown.
in
I love
100.
his whole story.
He did it in 128 games.
Say that again.
I said he did almost 12,000 yards in 128 games played.
Right. I like this kid, man. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer though, but this Journey story, the real life Journey Brown story, is one of the saddest stories, you know, from a player that was becoming a superstar for Penn State to have a heart issue to stop him from playing football, shut his career down. So I really enjoyed the fact that we kept honoring him and brought him in real draft. We'll always bring him in real draft. Because of that story, his career was cut short. But like, I thought he played well with him, but I think he kind of missed the ball with this guy. I think Journey Brown was could have been one of the best running backs in the league. He still's up here. He's number 4 in rushing yards, but like, he went from, like, remember being talked about like, oh my God, he the next guy, and then like by offense and by firing coordinators and, you know, bringing in new quarterbacks and things like that, he got lost in their offense. And I think that he wasn't the best player on the field. When the Lions lined up and you go play their offense, he wasn't the best player on the field all the time. And here's why: it wasn't because he wasn't. It was the choice. The coach didn't allow him to show us the greatness that I thought he really could have really been. So,
okay, well, let me pose this question to you: for anybody that we determine that may be on the bubble, what can they do this final season?
He gotta, you know what he gotta do for me? I think he gotta have a 30 touchdown season late in his career. 30 touchdown season and 2,000 yards. That's the one thing that I think he's missing on his resume. 30 touchdowns. Outside of the first year, 27 touchdowns. If he can get to that, but get 2,000 yards, somewhere between 2,200, 30 touchdowns, I think that will put him in. And if he can make a deep playoff run at the same time.
So we're looking at 13,000 yards and 150 career touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that'll do it. And with that, I don't think he'll be a first ballot. I think that'll get him in the door. That'll get him a knock at the door, and he'll be coming to Camden. But I don't think he'll be first ballot Hall of Fame.
Okay.
All right. So the next running back on this list, probably the shortest career of all running backs on this list, Travion Henderson, man. Henderson, Hennessy. 11,863 yards rushing, and he only had, ready for this? This kid only played 5 years.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. That's impressive.
I mean, that's Bo Jackson, that's Gale Sayers,
yeah.
That's that type, you know what I mean? Short careers.
Yep, you nailed
right away
it.
Hall of Famers. I mean, he's first ballot. Here's why he's first ballot. As a rookie, he rushed for 2,000 yards, 26 touchdowns. As a sophomore, he broke the NFL rushing record, 3,493 yards, 42 touchdowns. He follows that up with 26-32, and in these last 2 years, he split time with Will Towns and still damn near been a 2,000 yard back. 33 touchdowns last year with 279 carries. So his carries went down. Yards stayed in that high 1,000-yard seasons, but I mean, on the average, the least amount of yards he's carried the ball was 6.8, and you round that up, that's another 7 yards to carry there. 9.4, 7.8, 7.3, and 6.9 yards a carry. This guy has averaged every season. He was 100-yard back. Bottom line, if you're talking about production and productivity, he made their offense. Without him, he doesn't do anything with that offense.
That's 150 yards averaging rushing per game.
This guy's off the charts. And if he had the same amount of years as MC8, we might not be calling MC8 the best. Oh yes, we will, because of the bowls and stuff. But this guy probably would have shattered MC8 numbers.
Shattered the numbers, but not shattered the trophy case.
Yeah, not the trophy case at all. And let's see what he done. And then the crazy thing is this guy trophy case is kind of pretty solid too, because he's been a league MVP. He's been in 5 Pro Bowls, so he made the Pro Bowl every year he's been in the league. He's league rushing twice, led the league in rushing yards twice. Most valuable player in 2026, offensive player of the year. Best running back in 26, offensive player of the year. 27, best running back in 27, and then 29, offensive player of the year and best running back. So his trophy case is solid. He's first ballot for sure. Now the next 3 running backs I'm gonna talk about. We'll stop there with the running backs. Jonathan Taylor. Is Hitter still on?
Yo, Hitter. It don't look like he's on, but this might be my first no.
I agree. I don't think he gets in at all.
And I'm looking at it. He got 11,000 yards, but it took him almost 100. And he's played more games than almost everybody else. Everybody in front of him.
Yeah.
He's done less with more games.
I don't think. I mean, he had a couple good seasons as a Colt, and then he went to the Bucks, and he went to an offense that throws the ball more than they run the ball. Yeah. And that's why he's not who he is now. Let's talk about AI, man. AI. So I'm gonna ask you first. Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
First ballot?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
He get to go back to his hometown, Camden, for the ceremony?
Absolutely.
All right, talk about it. Why?
I mean, we're looking at almost 11,000 yards, 160 yards per game average, over 100 touchdowns, and only 67 games played.
And my thing is, Barnes, he was injury prone. He had 2 seasons where he missed he had missed about 18 games, right? And then he got shut down in 23. His production in 23 to 106 carries as a Raven, 631 yards, 5 touchdowns, was due to the emergence of Javonte and Jamar Gibbs being over there, right? So they shut him down pretty much, and they traded him right after that season. But even in his rookie year, 230 carries, 1774, 18 touchdowns, followed that up with 227, 1394, 11 touchdowns. And then that year he pretty much didn't play and got traded. And then in that year he got traded, he didn't play because he came to you late. But then after that, this year he got hurt, right? 2025, he got hurt that season.
Yeah, last 2 seasons he got hurt both times, missed 9 games.
Yeah, so that means he missed 6 games in 2025. For him, yeah. 142 carries, 673. He got hurt this year, 4.7 yards, 14 touchdowns, and then he arrived. So when you look at these numbers, you're seeing a whole lot of empty spots with injuries on here, but yet we still call him a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, 2029 he had 571 yards. He missed 9 games, right?
Yeah, he did.
And 28, this guy had 352 carries, 2,355 yards, 7 yards a carry, 28 touchdowns. Same thing in 27. 2,236, 6.3 yards a carry, 23 touchdowns. And then in 2026, 1,032, 10 touchdowns. And then he got, how many, was he hurt 3 seasons out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
No, I think in 26 that might have been the year where my player had thrown for over 4,000 yards. It was more of an air raid that particular season.
Okay. So if we talk about him and we say first ballot Hall of Famer, but then you look at his career and the years he had, could there be an argument that he might not be a first ballot Hall of Famer? I agree. I think he's first ballot.
I would love to hear it.
Because we can look at those. I mean, those injury seasons kept him from being great, like great. Like, what happens if he doesn't play them? Even if I made him the starting running back his last year with me, he's a 1,500 yard back, right? at the least. He's a 1,500-yard back. But we playing a what-if game. The problem is the production. You had him on the field when he was there for every game. He was the best running back in the league.
Right. And for a player that was, first of all, he's drafted in the 7th round. He got multiple Pro Bowls. He led the league in rushing yards, and he won best running back 2 years straight. And this is in the latter part of his career, not the beginning.
And in a league where the running backs are dogs, so for him to get that best running back award, that was hard to do. So again, make your case why he's not a New York Jet ring of honor guy versus a Hall of Famer guy.
No, he's gonna be both. I mean, we are already getting the statue ready for him right outside the stadium, where he's gonna remember, he's gonna be honored. You know, he turned the Jets from a team that everybody knows traditionally doesn't make the playoffs.
Flat out playoff
part of
team.
that turnaround to a flat out playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely our best player. We've seen our team without him, and we've seen the team with him.
Right.
So I would love to hear the argument as far as why.
I don't think nobody could really
person
argue, because I'm gonna tell you like this. If you played him, and I played this guy, and he was the best running back. I played I played MC8. I played Travion Henderson. I played a lot of Najee Harris. I mean, I played a lot of these running backs that we call Hall of Famers, and I still to this day think he was the best running back I faced. And maybe because he's my that's me, my player. But trust me, I'm not saying it because of that. I'm saying it because of what happened and when I played him. Another running back that I don't know. This is a tough conversation right now. Hanif Anderson has always been a top 5 that's 10, somewhere between 5 and 7 in the league as far as running back production and what he was doing, with how he was for that team. Because again, when he got hurt, he had the #1 pick in the draft. You feel me? When he missed the season, that team didn't make the playoffs, and they had the #1 pick in the draft. When he played, and they had Coach Black, high level of football. And then when they got the new coach, Coach Bo, still played at a high level. He was hurt twice with Bo though. My question is does he get the Ring of Fame or Hall of Fame?
I have to say ring, and the reason why I say that is not because I'm hating on him. He's in my division. When I start looking at his accolades, you know, he did make the Pro Bowl a couple of times, but outside of everything points towards the beginning of his career.
Right.
2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year, 2 Pro Bowls. But after that, you know, how many playoff appearances? No leading the league in rushing. We don't see no best running back awards. So that would be my reasoning.
Yeah, I think he's a Ring of Fame guy. All right, so real quick, let's talk about Javonte Williams.
Okay.
Could he eventually get the knock on the door?
I don't. See, the thing that hurt him was all the years of splitting carries, and I don't like those 144 games played with not even 10,000 yards.
Right.
So I would wait until this final season to see where he is. And
his problem is he had just as good, like don't get it twisted. This guy has won me games, that big games. Like he's that guy. He's a big game player for me. But again, he was interchangeable. We was always able to have multiple running backs in the backfield, and along with a quarterback that was a running back as well. So I think that hurts him. The fact that they have plenty of running backs, and they can at any one moment, any running back can do what he would do in a game. We can get that same production. And I think that's what killed him. He had AI in front of him for the first 2 seasons. He didn't even really play until his 3rd, 4th season. He became a starter in season 3, I think, or 4. I think season 4, because we had Jamar Gibbs as well. We tried to go with him first. But he got killed in the first look. 59 carries season 1, 51 carries season 2. And then after that, he's been a 1,000-yard back ever since. The problem is he's not the only 1,000-yard back every year on the team. We have at least 2 of them every year. But yeah, I agree. Double-digit touchdowns for the most part. And even his last 2 years, he declined in 108 carries, 90 carries, 700 yards,
Right.
773. So,
I just couldn't put him in if I'm keeping Journey Brown out.
right. And we could talk about Ring of
now.
Fame though. He could definitely be a Ring of Fame guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
He's approaching
outside of that,
10,000 yards, 10,000 career rushing yards.
yes, sir. I mean, look, and when you look at him, at 2 spots later, you got his quarterback sitting right there with damn near the same amount of rushing yards as him. Close to the same amount of touchdowns as well. So that right there tells you why he, should have been up there starting as a starting running back in this league from the time he walked in the league. Remember, Israel was only a star. He was the superstar, and he didn't get the ball.
Right.
So
I mean, but he's definitely going up there, besides Jamal Lewis is one of the great Raven running backs.
Right. I agree. All right, we're gonna talk about the receivers, and I want to have some tight end conversations later on. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it here. That was a good conversation. You always a great co-host, bro, and shit. Always ring bells when we do this thing together. We're gonna leave the league where it's sitting at because I had a lot of guys texting me that I didn't think was playing that started talking to me about playing. So I want to give guys a chance to get their re-signings done, and then I'm gonna reschedule the off season. So it's still going to start like it was supposed to, which was been tomorrow. The only difference is we're not going to be in the preseason right now. I'm not going to do the free agency. We'll do all that tomorrow after 7:30, and then get the league started and get back to chipping. And that'll give me some time to get more guys active and playing because I didn't realize a lot of guys still want to play. More than I had counted, so that's a good thing. So we're gonna still rock the fuck out in this, and we'll get back to it. So we'll do the Hall of Fame wide receivers. We'll talk about tight ends, and then we're gonna go into the defensive side of things and see who's in and who's not. And here's the franchise guru here with the boy Shoguns, and Hitter was on deck with me tonight. We did the talk. That's what we do. Real Draft 5, man, season 10. You heard? We're out of here.